NatNatYourDoula, Natalie. I am an in-person, I feel like I'm telling you, but you know, I'm an in-person and virtual doula, and I support women specifically, but their families too, through pregnancy, labour, birth, and through to the postnatal period if they so wish. I do that virtually and in person, but obviously it works completely differently because virtual, I'm not with you, I'm just inside your phone. I am based in Swindon and I cover a huge area that goes right now from South Wales, Bristol, Wiltshire, Gloucester, Oxfordshire, going right down into Berkshire, Hertfordshire, Hampshire, and London. Yeah, actually, I don't need to tell you any more about me. That's me.
But I like hearing it. Tell the people.
Thank you. Yeah, tell the people.
Ooh.
The reason we're here today is because I know that there are women out there that are pregnant or planning to be pregnant, and they will be scrolling through, they're doom scrolling through the TikToks. And I know they are because I've got other clients and previous clients that tell me they do this, and they scroll through and they see the horror stories and they see the terrible failed inductions. They see the C-section rate that's happening at the moment in the UK. We don't have to go there. Mm-hmm. They're seeing the horror stories and they're filling their brain with little seeds that say, I doubt that I can have a good, positive, happy, exciting, orgasmic, blissful, whatever birth. Okay, we know that not everyone will have a birth like that, but I know these people want to hear other sides of the story and they might not be finding it. So I've invited Alice, lovely, beautiful Alice, to join me because Alice is my, it feels weird to call you my doula client because you're my friend.
I know, it started out like that.
Yeah, we connected on Instagram. I remember you sharing a picture saying that you were pregnant, something to do with pregnancy quite early on. And then I think I followed you. I commented and said, congratulations. This was so far back.
Yeah.
And posted something else saying that you had hyperemesis gravidarum. And I was like, oh my God, I need to stay connected with this woman because I had that. Yeah. And if there was ever any way I could help you or give you one word of wisdom, I would love to have been the person that could. So we just started talking about that, didn't we? And I remember you were abroad at the time, and I said to you, when you come back over this way, let me know and I'll come and see you. And at no point did I think I'm going to be Alice's doula because you were abroad at this point. And it just went from there, and it's beautiful. And I'm so pleased that you're here to share your stories, as much of your stories as you want. You've had 2 babies. So over to you. Do you want to go back to all that time ago? Wasn't that long ago, was it?
Oh my gosh.
When you had your first beautiful daughter, you can tell us about your pregnancy, your labor, your birth, whatever you want to do. The floor is yours, my darling.
I love you, but I always knew you were going to be my doula anyway. Even if you didn't, I knew that you were going to. I was like, yeah, I've just got to. Yeah, it's going to happen. But so lovely, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is really, really important. What Nat's doing in showcasing women who are actually having a positive experience, because it is terrifying, isn't it? The propaganda. It's in movies. It's in the news. It's like every Facebook headline I have is like, oh, terrifying, free birth, fear. So it's a really scary place. And for me, like my mum had horrible births, and everything I've ever heard about birth has been horrible and terrifying. And so like for my first birth, my first pregnancy, I was in Mexico. I had HG, like you said. So the build up to, I wanted a baby so bad. The build up to that was, I already wanted to die because I was so ill. And I know that you went through it too. So you can speak to it, to anyone who has it. It is really, really hard. And it takes so much strength to actually get through it. But we know our babies are going to be on the other end of it. So we do what we need to do. And I was doing my research. I always wanted a natural birth, a home birth for every pregnancy and every birth, because something in me always knew that's what we're meant to be doing. And it's just kind of been erased, and the medical industry has taken over, and I could see that. And it's not something I wanted to participate in at all. And I just have absolute faith in our design. We're meant to give birth. We're meant to give birth. That's it. It's not a medical event. And it was really obvious. So I was researching. My good friend was a midwife in Mexico. And I was like, wow, yeah, like if I if I hire her, like I'll be really well looked after. And I think my mistake was putting trust in people and not myself. And that's like number one. The number one thing I could say is trust yourself. Don't give it to other people, because other people are bound by, well, midwives are bound by the system. And I didn't really know that. So I wanted my water birth. I've been preparing, and it got to my birth. And my baby came at 36 and 6 days, which is technically preemie, but like barely, like, come on, goodness sake. So immediately my midwife said, oh, you can't have a water birth. It threw me, it absolutely destroyed me, because it's the thing. So that's like the number one thing, is prepare. And this is what you prepared me, prepare for everything, so that if something happens, you're not absolutely annihilated the way that I was. It threw me so badly that I think it had a massive impact on the birth. And I was like, what do you mean I can't? It's my birth. But literally they were like, no, absolutely not. Okay. So that birth ended up being 36 hours at home. It was back to back. It was everything that I didn't want happened. And it was like a cascade of feeling completely out of control. But I learned a lot from it, because I put my power into everyone else's hands except mine, and trusted everyone. This is why you've got to educate. And I learned so much from you, Nat, from the beginning, that I didn't know from my first birth. Educate yourself, and just build up that inner knowing that it's fine. You don't actually need anyone, but we think that we do, because that's what we've been told. And so I ended up in the hospital with her, which I am absolutely terrified of hospitals anyway. It's not my thing. We know that. I don't trust them at all. But I was in so much pain at that point, and so it was so bad. So I got an epidural. They manually turned my baby inside me with their hand. But drugs in me are not very good anymore. We used to have a good time, but we don't anymore. And so I was completely out of my head. It was just horrible. And I filmed it. So I saw everything that I didn't want to happen, and the people that were meant to advocate for me didn't. So they cut the cord immediately. They took the baby away from me immediately. I was purple pushing. It was like the kind of horror story that you see. And I had massive trauma from that. So the first session I booked with Nat actually was to go kind of through that. We went through the trauma, because I couldn't forgive myself. I couldn't forgive anyone. I was so angry, and it made me insulate a lot. And it made me fight with my partner, because he couldn't understand why but any woman that's been through a birth that didn't go the way they want knows how traumatic that is. It really, well, but I'm glad, I'm not glad it happened, but it taught me so much about taking more responsibility. And I don't know, there's night and day between my two babies, the hospital birth and the free birth, but I'll come to that later, in behavior and in all kinds of things. And you've told me this before, Nat. It's so night and day, my two children, and the way that they are. So that all happened. Still kind of processing all of that, honestly. It takes a long time. But my daughter is the best thing in the whole world, and I love her. But we left Mexico. We were like, cool, one and done. No, not gonna. I was really, yeah.
Sorry, I was going to say, before you go any further, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please.
So you mentioned that your friend was a midwife. Was she a traditional Mexican midwife, or was she system tied to a local hospital midwife?
Really, really good question. Traditional Mexican. So obviously I was like, wow, it's so beautiful. When I was pregnant, we did temazcals, which is like hot rooms. We did all things that, you're not meant to do, but rapé, they wanted me to do mushrooms, and I just didn't feel for it. So I didn't, but I would have if I did feel for it, just saying. But when I was in the labor, they wanted it hot. So all the heating was on in my apartment in Mexico. It was like honestly, it was like hell. I've never spoken about it, because I like, not on here, because I can't, it was just so traumatizing. It was so bad. But bless them, you're bound by the system. Even if you're anything with beautiful names, like a traditional whatever, you're a midwife at the end of the day. And you're gonna do the things you need to do to protect yourself from getting in trouble, which is exactly what happened. But there was a lot of fear in that one, like, oh, you're going to need a C-section, I was told, which again, mid birth, that's not what I wanted to hear. That destroyed me. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, she was
My
traditional.
other question is, you mentioned about no one that was, I can't remember your exact words, but I think you said everyone that was supposed to advocate for me didn't. What was it you were hoping they would do and they didn't do it? And
Right.
had you had prior discussions with them about, look, this is what I'm expecting from you on the day. I kind of need you to fill this role or that role.
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah. So I had two people that it was the midwife, my friend, and my husband. Bless him, my husband was in such a trauma state himself that I can understand that he couldn't do anything because he had to watch me go through that. I'd written out my birth plan, not as detailed as what me and you did, which was a whole nother story of brilliance. It was like everything was covered. But it was the basics, like no pushing on my back, cord not cut, baby not taken away from me, and watching the video about everything happen. And I suppose it wasn't her job, but she said that she would do those things for me. One thing she did do was steal my placenta and run away, though. So I'm very happy about that. I got my placenta. She literally had to like escape the hospital with it. I was like, yes. So, there was that.
You're not
But
allowed to you're not allowed to keep it in Mexico.
it wasn't something that I was so sure I wasn't going to hospital that I didn't prior say to the people in the hospital that I wanted it. So maybe if I'd done that, but I was like, there's no way I'm not going to hospital. It's not happening. So it was a case of pretty much steal the placenta and run. But I really wanted it's my organ. Give me my organ. Yeah. So there was that.
The placenta. Once you got
Sorry.
it, did you do anything with the placenta?
Yes, I ate a bit of it. As soon as I gave birth in a smoothie. The rest of it, it was really it's a really sad story. I wanted to plant it, so I kept it, but because we were going to stay in Mexico, but we left. So at the before we left, me and my husband like went to the jungle, but it was a bit of jungle that was like gated up. So in the end, we were going to give it to the jungle. We had to like throw it over this wall into the jungle.
So romantic, like.
Sorry to my daughter. I know. So we literally lobbed it into the jungle. So it's not really like the beautiful tree story, but
No
it was
ceremony.
given to the jungle somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh
It
God.
was returned to the earth. Beautiful.
Yeah, return to the earth where she was born. But yeah, we'll plant a tree for her here as well. Yeah, none of it it's none of it worked out. And then, my baby had a lot of problems. I definitely link that to the birth, the trauma of the birth, the interventions, the epidural, all of it.
Okay, can you talk about that now if you're happy to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in Mexico, I had a UTI in the pregnancy, and they gave me 3 rounds of different antibiotics. Nothing was getting rid of it. I was resistant to all of them. They did a test eventually, and I was like, so her microbiome was wiped out as well as mine in the body. I know a lot of it's to do with that. She had colic, she had reflux. She was very disturbed. She literally cried 24 hours a day. And I know that that's because of that, because it's my mother's intuition. It was really rough for us as well as her. But there was always problems after problems. And even now, oh, she's so amazing. I love her. But she's never been able to sleep. She's never slept. She wakes up and has night terrors. And you're not meant to have night terrors this young,
Yeah.
And because I didn't have the support there in Mexico, I wasn't producing enough milk, so she was starving all the time. Like, I was like, well, I'm breastfeeding her, and she was crying a lot, and then she started losing weight. And then eventually, after a month, we realized, like, we'd not been giving her enough food. So she has problems with food now, So it's a big lesson, and I wouldn't change her for the world, but bless her.
Yeah.
The birth,
She's
the
just
friggin' hospital.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah, she's so cute.
She appears to be in perfect health, thriving. I mean, she really
is
does
down.
look that, and that's down to you and everything you and your partner have done since the birth. I know you're health conscious and you want to do the best for her, and you really have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How did that leave you feeling? So if we move forward slightly after the immediate oxytocin rush of, I'm so glad my baby's here. Thank you to the staff for doing that. We're alive. How wonderful, because I thought I might die, or you said I might die, or whatever.
Yeah.
Have this immediate hours and days of bliss. Okay, it's exhausting, we know, but you have that bliss. Eventually that kind of dies down a bit and reality kicks in.
Yeah.
When you get that, how were you feeling about your birth and the whole experience?
I've got to tell you, the bliss did not kick in the way it did with this birth. I didn't have it. It was called epidural off my face on drugs. So I was like, oh, like, yeah, awful. I'm really, really sensitive to anything, all that fentanyl. I was like, wow, the doctor was really great. It wore off and I was angry. It was rage first. I was furious that I felt so angry with other people. I think it was really with myself, but I project out. And I remember the midwife being like, hey, can you pay me the rest of the money? And I was like, how fucking dare you? I remember the rage. And she didn't visit me after the birth once. So it was rage. And then I realized it was a lot to do with me. So it was the guilt. It didn't last long. There wasn't like the first night, maybe I held my baby, but then immediately it went to her screaming all the time. So it was like birth trauma to the having a baby, and I was not prepared for what having a baby would be like. That's like that. It wasn't what I imagined. So it was really, really difficult. But no, I remember looking at her and crying when you have the hormone thing and you're like, oh, and that was nice. But it was really hard now. It was just really not. I had this dream, you have the dream of I'm gonna have babies, but like you don't really know what's attached to that. But this one's been different, so different.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that. You won't be surprised. I think I said it to you the other day that so many women tell me that subsequent pregnancies, their babies, subsequent births, their babies are very different. When you were pregnant with your first, so you were preparing, you were doing your birth plan, and you had this what you thought was a wonderful midwife. She probably was a wonderful.
Yeah, people make mistakes.
Still she had to protect herself, I guess. There, I don't know what the laws are in Mexico, but did you feel powerful? Did you think, I'm a woman, I'm a badass, I can do this, I'm strong? How were you feeling through the pregnancy about actually going through birth?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. After the HG got better, when I was like, I'm gonna die, I can't do this.
Where in your pregnancy did it kind of stop?
5 months.
Okay.
5, so it was 5 months. I know it can be a lot worse, so I'm grateful at least I had like the end. There were times I felt like that because in myself, I'm very strong. I can take a lot of pain. I know I can do anything. But it's funny, it wasn't like the right kind of mental prep to do that. Whereas this time I actually did less for this one, but I felt stronger. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I've got a baby, I don't have time to do it, but I know I'm gonna. It was a whole different. I think there was a lot of fear the first time that I didn't address or I didn't really notice. But it was definitely a case of the right people weren't around me either. I didn't have like someone like you. I didn't have my family weren't there. I just didn't feel lifted up. I didn't, because it is different having a community around you as well, to kind of back that up. There were other things going on, but no, I had moments of it, but maybe I didn't believe it. Whereas this time I believed it,
Yeah, you did, definitely. And I loved that. It was really lovely to hear you say things. You'd have wobbles like all women do at different stages, but you really did believe I can do it and I'm going to.
Yeah, there was no there's no option. No option.
Well, you mentioned that you might have had some fears. What were your fears? Was it fear of the pain? Okay.
I think everyone does. And especially as you get closer, you suddenly go, oh, there's no other way but giving birth. Do you remember that? You're like, this has to come out. Shit.
I have to do this.
Oh my God. It is that. I was never scared of like being a mum. I don't even think people look ahead to that point. It's so much about the birth. Then you have a baby and you're like, oh my God, like, what do I do with it? But no pain. Yeah, I guess because I didn't know what it would be like. And I like to know what kind of thing I'm up against. And yeah, pain and just the unknown. It's the unknown, isn't it? Like this big thing. My belly's quite big and my vagina's not that big.
Yeah. How is that coming out. Like, yeah.
Well, exactly. The first time I was on epidural, so I felt nothing. The second time, not that bad.
Yeah.
Not that bad. It's like a fire, isn't it? A little bit. But you're so, and you're just so in it that it doesn't, it's not that important. It's important when you're thinking about it, but when you're actually in birth, it's never what you think, is it? You can't.
Absolutely.
You cannot.
Even if you've done it before, as you know now, it's not.
Wow.
It's not going to be the same.
No.
Your identical kind of pregnancies, labours, it's not going to be the same. The pain can be much worse with one and not the other.
Completely different.
Done the same things. You just. It's really difficult to prepare ever really for the pain or how to deal with your emotions and your thoughts that are coming out.
They're strong as well. There's so many courses, aren't there, as well? And things like, oh, nothing can really prepare you. You can prepare so much, and then it's nothing like what you've been prepared. It's you just need people, really strong people around you, and to have a strong sense of like yourself. It's difficult to explain, isn't it? I know people that have prepared so much and done like a million courses and massaging the perineal or whatever bullshit, but it doesn't really do anything.
Still hurts like fuck. Like just
I mean, you can't deny it hurts like fuck. Except you said you have people where it doesn't hurt, but like most people, it's going to be the worst pain of your life. But it's
I know one lady that said it didn't hurt.
But it's amazing. I need to know this lady. But no, it hurts like fuck. But then afterwards, now I'm like, I want another one.
Yeah.
Oh my god, no.
Okay, so you want another one? I mean, do you want to book me now for 10 months? No,
you know that you're going to be booked when I do accidentally get pregnant again, which is obviously going to happen.
Let's do it in Italy.
Yeah. Oh god.
Okay, so
yeah.
I'm trying to put now because I'm laughing away.
Yeah.
So talk about having another. So you had your first.
Yeah.
You're still. Where were you then? Were you in Mexico afterwards? Or were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had my first. Luckily, my mum flew over. My mum's been like a second mum to my baby the whole time. She hasn't left. We've lived with my mum since she was born. We left Mexico that November, which was 3 months later, to come back here because I just wanted to be somewhere comfortable because it was really. She was quite difficult, and I wanted to be somewhere I understood, which is Britain. I don't love it here, but you know, I know the system. So we came back. And then we went to Italy in 3 months after that, and going through residency. And I got really bad postnatal depression with her as well, which I 100% put down to birth trauma and just having no support after. And they were like, "Oh, try antidepressants." I don't like anything like that, but I was like, "Okay, I'll try." Tried once, hated it. It really messed with me, and it brought on like a fake period, so I couldn't track my cycle properly anymore. So we went to Italy. We got married there. 2 days later, I'm pregnant. I did a test. Oh my god, my baby's 6 months old, and I'm pregnant. And we were like, definitely not having any more children. I know it happens a lot. I was like, oh shit, but I can be like, oh, it's a miracle. Okay, we're gonna do this again. Everyone else was like, holy shit, you're fucking crazy. Like, I'm not gonna get rid of it. We're gonna have this baby. Oh my god. So that was a lot for everyone. And I knew I would have HG again. At least I was like mentally prepared. Of course, it hit me in the 6-week mark, and I was just in bed, very ill. But my mum and my husband looked after the baby. I was just really ill. And it was around then I was like, okay, we're doing this differently. It was around then that I saw you, and I was like, I just know that she's going to be the woman. So we were speaking, and me and Lucas are broke, and we're like, we're going to make it work. We don't need anything else. We need a doula. It's the most important thing. And from then on, I was like, this is really hard, but I feel calm. I'm like, it's going to be different. I have someone, and I just knew. I was like, I know that Nat's going to be exactly the woman that I need to help me. And honestly, I don't think it would have been the same at all without you. I've told you this anyway, but you gave me that strength. Oh, no, really, you've saved it. You've changed my perception on birth. You've given this gift to our family, which is a gift that, you know, everyone saw me do this. and that women can, and to me that I can, and now our son who's so perfect because he got to do this too. So thank you. But I digress. It was, yeah, I knew that we needed to have you. So we were like, we're going to make this work. So when did we get back from Italy? As soon as my HG got a bit better, about 5 months or something, we came back. But yeah, we're like, oh my God, we have a tiny baby and we're going to have another tiny baby.
Yeah.
So that's when I say if I have another baby, I'll definitely be an accident again because, oh my God, I don't think I can go through it again. But I probably will. And yeah, now I've forgotten the question because I've just gone off on the way I do.
No, it's fine.
I'm
it's
sorry.
Fine. Okay, so you're pregnant the second.
Yeah. Oh.
The second. And so you prepared for your daughter's birth.
Yes.
You did your birth plan, you had your discussions, you thought, I'm powerful, I'm strong, I'm gonna do this.
Yes.
And it didn't go to plan. What did you do differently this time around that you think might have attributed to his wonderful birth? Was it physical? Was it mental? Was it spiritual? Was it everything?
Everything. It was funny because I did way less. I knew from the first a lot. I learned a lot from the first birth. I knew I could take the pain, but that it was going to be really hard. But I was just there's no way, especially in England. I'm not going to hospital in England. Like that's no, absolutely not. It's worse than Mexico having a baby. Probably, I don't know if I can say this, but there is absolutely no way I'm going to hospital here unless I'm hemorrhaging. I can't say that word.
Hemorrhaging.
I can't. But it was honestly, we got you. And so I was like, I can text Nat. Nat's amazing. You educated us. We had that first call. Also, Lucas was very traumatized from the first, and you speaking to him, he was like, okay, we can. So you helping him in that, which is something that you do too, helped me because I was more chill about it and he was more chill about it. He wasn't like terrified. He was like, okay, so it's going to be you and Nat. Good. I'll just be around the periphery. I don't have too much to do. That took a weight off. Because he was like, I don't want to be as involved as I was. He was basically the midwife in the first one because I don't know where they were. He had to do everything. And he was traumatized.
You mentioned right back at the start where you said the people that were supposed to advocate for me couldn't, but he had to take on a completely different role.
Yeah.
And how do you do all the roles? It's really, really hard to fulfill all the roles and do them well. You know, and bless him. I know he was really traumatized because it was a lot. It's a lot to watch.
It's a lot. So people don't often like think about the partners either, but it was really amazing the way you spoke to him and how you worked with him because maybe people don't preempt that their partner could freak out or act in a different way during the birth. Like maybe it's too much for them. So that's a really important thing too. So that really helped massively.
Cool. Well, sorry, just touching on partners there. For anyone else that watches this recording, hopefully they will. I say it all the time to couples, partners are there, specifically men, okay? I'm talking about men partners at the moment. They have this they're animals, right? And it's their innate, I can't think of the right way to describe it. They are the protector.
Right.
You know? So it doesn't matter how much preparing they do, they will always have that, but I'm the protector. That's always there at the back of their minds. They can do birth prep to the nth degree, it doesn't matter, but they will always have that in the back of their mind going, oh my God, I'm supposed to be helping her now.
Of course.
And if he sees you in pain for 36 hours and it was agony, and I'm sure you had conversations afterwards where you were like, well, you didn't do this and I needed you to say, that's in his mind. So come to the second pregnancy, he's probably thinking, fuck, I've got to do that again.
Yeah, exactly.
How can I save her if I couldn't last time? Although that's not his role to save you, don't need saving.
No, but they will. They'll try.
He will have that in the back of his mind constantly. It's in him, you know.
Yeah.
So it's really, really difficult. So even when I do speak to birth partners, specifically men, and I say to them, look, you will have a role to fulfill. It doesn't need to be saving her and taking away pain. It's sometimes just being in the room
Yeah, honestly, it helps.
Sometimes that could just be enough, right? Or just a touch or a look. It can just be that.
Yeah.
But it is really, really hard for birth partners. Really, really hard, because
I bless them. Yeah.
they're watching something tricky, but it's no excuse for any other birth partners to then not go and do the prep. I think that anyone that's going to be at a birth, whether that's dad, mum, best friend, whoever, they do need to go and understand what could be expected of them in their role as birth partner, birth partners. And they should go and learn about the different stages of labour. You know, why is my wife acting this way? Why has she
a wild animal
started mooing like a cow?
Yeah.
Why is she? Why can't she answer me? I'm talking to her and she's just completely gone. She's ignoring me. So if they understand those things, and they understand that sometimes yes means no and no means yes, because you're in a zone and you're not really supposed to be communicating.
And the safe word you taught me about, the safe word.
Because
we're gonna be like screaming for the epidural, but we don't mean it. We don't mean it.
And that's the thing, and it makes it sound scary. I don't mean it to sound scary, like, you know.
No, it's not.
I'll joke about it and I'll say, maybe just have a safe word, because I have been at so many births where women would say, oh my God, I need the epidural right now, take me to the hospital. But actually they don't need it, they need it right then at that time. But 2 minutes later, or even 2 seconds later, they actually don't want that.
No.
So, which is why I joke with people and say maybe have a safe word, because if there is something that you say and we all go, actually, she's been asking for this thing 2 or 3 times now. We're trying to help her to have the plan she wanted. But now she's brought up the safe word. We need to pay attention to this actually and honour what she's asking for.
Exactly.
But anyway, so I've gone off on a tangent there. But
no, it was really good though, an important tangent, Nat.
I think birth partners are incredible. They have a lot to do, but at the same time, they don't have to do. I think it's really
interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
What a wonderful thing they get to do. It's really amazing. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So where were we in your story? So how you were getting prepared? You were saying about me talking to the person.
Yeah, and I remember something else after my first birth. I remember, like, it's an interesting time because I was like saying to my midwife everything I was unhappy about, and she said to me, it's your responsibility, it's your fault. And I was so angry at the time, but when I, thought about that more, I was like, okay, there's some truth to that, absolutely. And that fueled me more this time to be like, it's my responsibility. But adding to that, this time I had HG, I have a small child, we're trying to relocate to Italy. I couldn't do very much, but I was okay with that because I was like, my body's already done this. I need to focus on trying not to be sick all the time, and my daughter. So there wasn't actually that much more time. There wasn't. The first one's really indulgent, isn't it? You're like, oh, all I need to do is prepare, and you sleep loads and watch Netflix. You can't do that when you have a second. So it's a really different experience, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you were doing you were doing your prep stuff, because we did have a chat.
Yeah, we did.
Initially, you booked a 2-hour. I think you booked one of my 2-hour antenatal prep sessions.
Yeah.
But it really turned into kind of a birth debrief, didn't it? For the first time.
Definitely.
Where we talked through every single thing that had happened, why that might have happened, how you felt about that. And I think that was quite important for us to do that, because I think it gave you more of a level of acceptance of the things that happened.
Yeah.
Because I remember you saying a few times on that call, she said it's my fault, and I know it's my fault, and it's like you were almost still angry with yourself about things that you thought you'd done wrong. You hadn't done anything wrong. And I say it all the time. I sound like a stuck tape, but I'm always saying you don't know what you don't know. People don't know what they need to potentially learn or unlearn. Sometimes
it's a big thing.
Yeah.
Incredible experience, but
Okay.
It's true.
So roll forward then. So the day was getting nearer.
Oh my God, I had terrible pelvic girdle pain this time. I could barely walk.
As soon as my HG stopped, the pelvic girdle pain really kicked in.
It's something for another. Oh my God, pregnancy for me is really difficult. It's just, there's something, I don't know. So I I also for prep did a lot of chiropractor this time. Really helped. She said my pelvis was tilted, so he was like a bit crushed on one side. So I did that a lot. Really helpful. Honestly, it helped me walk a bit better. Yeah, it was getting closer. I was massive, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be the same time as the first. You know, he's gonna be early. And the time kept going, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, he's not here yet. And then I was like, well, Avatar's out. I hope I can see that because I love Avatar. So I booked it, and I was like, you know, I knew in the back of, I was like, if I book it, he's gonna come on that bloody day, isn't he? And that's what happened.
I
Literally.
can't believe it. I remember saying
Oh
to
my
you,
god.
"Please book it." And you were like, should I book it? I said, no, book it. Because
You
sitting
know
in the
what?
cinema for 3 hours eating popcorn and chocolate with the love of your life is probably
Sounds
going to be
great.
enough to get you into labour, right?
Yeah,
Well,
probably. And the last time, oh, but yeah, that was
last
funny.
chance to see it in the cinema.
This is a classic. But it's good. My friend, one of my best friends from America had flown over. She was like, I want to see the baby. I was like, the baby's not going to come when you're here. That's so silly. She was staying here that night, obviously. I remember I called you, didn't I? I texted you. I was like, my water's just broken.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how my first one happened, which is really cool. I love the movie style water break. But I was like, okay, it's happening. I was in bed with my baby. So I called up my mum and she like stayed with the baby. And this time I felt really like what's that? Oh, my brain. Like I'd done this before, a veteran. I was like, okay, we know how to do this. You don't really. But I went into a little room that I'd prepared that was
Yeah.
dark. And I was like, I'm just gonna chill on my own. And I left Lucas sleeping because I was like, he's, you know, let's just leave him sleeping. I texted you and I was like, my water's broken, it's happening. We were like, okay, cool, cool. But my first pregnancy, it took a long time for the contractions to start. This one, I was like, great, I'm going to get some sleep in. They kind of hit straight away. And
I
I was
remember
like,
saying,
oh,
get some sleep.
yeah. I was like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was not going to get any sleep. They
Mm.
came quickly. So, you
Mm.
know, it's like a whole different experience. I was like, okay, so this is quick. This is ramping up much quicker than my last one. I'm not having a breather. And they got kind of painful quite quickly. I've got all the text through. I was looking through them. I was like, they're kind of gnarly. Like they're kind of, I think it's happening. You're like, right, I'm coming. It's like, okay, good. So I was really excited actually. I was like, I felt better as soon as you were coming. I was like, everything's gonna be fine. But my mom was like organizing the house by this point, and we were like, okay, we're gonna do this. And you came, and we were just laughing and chatting for ages, weren't we? I was like, there's a contraction coming, and it would just be like, and then we continue with some like stories or
The
something. It was
room
really
was
lovely.
beautiful, though. The room was small and
Yeah.
cozy,
Hmm.
warm, dark. Because
Dark.
it was really early in the morning, wasn't it?
This was like, you must have come like 3 or 4.
It was really, really early in the
Yeah.
morning. Yeah.
Hmm.
So the sun obviously hadn't come up yet, obviously being December.
No.
It
Yeah.
was freezing outside, but it was very nice and cozy and
Hmm.
relaxed in that room, wasn't it? And
We
through,
needed that oxytocin.
yeah, and in between
Mhm.
your contractions, we were having little chats about, I can't
Yeah.
even remember what, just
All
random
kinds of stuff. It
stuff.
was really nice though. I was
You were
like, I
like,
just,
eat the chocolate.
yeah, I had, oh my God, my chocolate stash is embarrassing. We called them pregnancy snacks, but we kept buying them weeks in advance and then eating the whole
And
stash
eating
and
them
then
all.
having to restock them. So please eat the chocolate now. I've eaten so much chocolate.
You're at the end of the pregnancy, you deserve some chocolate.
So much. I'm still eating chocolate. Yeah, yeah, I've just had a baby, but you
Yeah.
gotta stop eating the chocolate. Um, but and then eventually Lucas got up and we were like, can you prep the birth room? Because I have another room upstairs. I was like, I'm having the baby in there. But then they slowed down my contraction, didn't they? They were like building and then they started slowing down, which can
Mm.
happen. And I remember the first one that really bothered me. And this one I was like, no, because we've done our work and our research and this can happen and it's absolutely fine. So I didn't let it bother me. And you were like, I'm in go. I'm
Yeah.
gonna come back when it ramps up because it's 7 to 10 minutes apart. I was like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But there was something in my head that was a bit like, I know when Nat leaves, it's gonna kick off. I don't know.
Same here.
I didn't say anything. You didn't either. And you said like when you drove away, your car window fell out or something.
Yeah, so I couldn't
We
go any.
knew. We knew. It was so quick. It was like, my husband came in the room and I was going, this is getting worse. Like, and then I started like really having to make sounds through contractions. Then I started the crying very early on. I was like, Lucas, it's so painful, I can't do it. And he was like ignoring me because that's what I told everyone to do. I'm just really dramatic. So I text you like it's getting, and it just started from there. It was very quick. I remember not really having much time to process how quickly it was happening.
It went from 0 to 60, didn't it?
Yeah.
When I was in a nice cozy room with you and we were chatting, and you know, it was I still believe that the room was like not great for you to have that nice oxytocin flow and all of your hormones to be kicking in and kicking back out when they needed to be. But I am always very aware, and doulas, birth keepers will be, that we are an intervention. We're in your space, all right? So we say to people, you know, take yourself somewhere comfortable, and if that's a dark room, so be it. If you want to go and lay down and watch TV, dim the lights, but make yourself really cozy, nice soft energy in there, right?
Yeah.
Someone being in there that isn't your partner, really.
Yeah.
Or even if it is your partner, sometimes your partner you don't even want there because they might be on edge, or they might bring energy that you don't want in the room. Anybody else being in that room is an intervention. There's no two ways about it. And I'm always very aware when I'm at birth, actually, let's see what happens if I leave. Because what was happening, they were coming every kind of 2-3 minutes, and then they were really coming close together, and they were lasting a minute. Sorry, I know it's your story, but I'm just telling you what I remember.
No, it's good because I do have I've written it down, but I will have blind spots because you know when you're giving birth, you're completely in it. It's hard to remember everything.
Yeah, of course. You know. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go. It's going to take me about 45-50 minutes to get home, though.
Yeah.
So I made it really clear to you, your partner, and your mum. I'm going to leave. But if you need to call me, it doesn't matter if I just got in the car and driven away. Call me. Don't message because it won't. I'll be connected to the car Bluetooth. Don't message. I can't do anything. I'm driving on the motorway potentially. Call me and I will come straight back. So I said to everyone, I'm going now. Got in the car, drove away, and bearing in mind how cold it was like the week before Christmas, my passenger front window just went, just dropped out. Fell into the car door, and I was like, I can't now go on the M4, and it's like 5 degrees or colder. So I pulled over somewhere, some services, got something to eat. So obviously I was moving through the morning. I hadn't slept the night before or eaten. So I was like, I need to get some coffee, sit back and chill. And I literally had something to eat. That I thought, what on earth am I going to do now with this car window? What if it rains or snows or something? And then my phone went, ding, 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 ding. Hello? Luke was like, you need to come back now.
Perfect.
Like, give me time.
It was like meant to be.
It was completely different to how it was when I'd left. You'd gone right back to how you were earlier, where the contractions were coming strong and fast, and you could really sense that things were progressing very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Everything had changed.
Yeah, we weren't talking and chatting so much anymore that time. It was like I was like, holy shit! It's all encompassing. You've got to concentrate when the contractions get to that. But it just happened so quickly this time that I was like, okay. But it's funny because it was such a welcome intervention. Some are welcome, and also you were like a pain relief. So that's nice. In a way, because we were like, it distracted me, you know, and that's what pain relief is. So it was nice. I had on this bloody TENS machine that was doing nothing except like dangling in my face. It was really pissing me off. But my position had changed, hadn't it? I was now like up on my knees and and any break I could get in between was the best thing. And because I'd had 3 hours sleep the night before because my daughter hadn't slept, and I was like, oh God, I have not slept. But it kind of went from there, and then I stayed in there for a long time, and it was really building. And then I think there was a long gap between that and you being like, let's fill the pool. There probably was, but I was really in it, so I didn't. And I was like,
how long it took.
No, absolutely none. It's just concentration, but it's manageable, isn't it? It's like, okay, contractions coming, make your noises, you get a break. So it's really psychedelic, but painful psychedelic. So interesting.
Yeah, I could tell at that stage when I decided, look, I think we need to get the water in the pool. The reason I made that call then is because you were no longer able to have really any conversation at all.
Yeah,
so you were having a contraction and then sort of sinking back down into the bed. You were on your knees at this point, and then kind of sinking back into yourself, and you weren't able to answer questions really like that. So I was like, right, you know what? let's get the pool full, because even if she doesn't get in it anytime soon, we can keep that pool warm.
Yeah. But no,
just
honestly,
get it
thank
full.
God for the pool. The pool, oh my God. It was exactly the way I imagined it in my dreams. It was so helpful.
I remember you getting in and going, oh,
yeah,
like, wow.
Oh, I cannot tell you. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna handle this. I was already saying I was crying to Lucas, like, but it was funny because this time it's like a split. I was trying to explain it to Lucas. All of a part of me was like, I just want to go and get an epidural. But way more of me was like, there's an Alice, you know that's not happening. So I was crying because I was angry because I knew it wasn't happening.
Yeah.
It was a really weird thing. And didn't we called my mum came up because my mum, bless her, mum's worry.
Yeah.
She was like, we need to call the midwives. Okay, whatever. Called. Obviously, we'd already spoken about this. We knew that no one would come. There would be no one. So I wouldn't have done that hadn't you kind of brought that to my attention, but I'd already been like, cool, they're not coming. I'm free birthing. Great. And of course, my mom called. They were hysterical, like, you need to come to hospital. There's no one to come. And I was like, there's absolutely no way. I was way too past that stage anyway. And I felt, though I was crying, I felt like this was absolutely fine. I felt completely safe with you in my house. And I was like, we're not getting in a car. I could not imagine anything worse. And then going for the things that I don't want. So I was like, no, we're going to keep going. Took a lot. But the pool was wonderful. Oh my God. It's the way, it's still painful, but it takes a lot away. It's a really amazing pain relief. Oh my God.
When your mum said to me, she said, should I call the midwives? So I said, Alice doesn't want the midwives to know just yet that things are happening, because she doesn't know if she wants anyone here, really.
Yeah, we didn't want to involve them.
Yeah.
Really.
And also because you didn't feel like you needed anyone at that point. So I said, Alice doesn't know if she wants the midwives to come yet. You don't need to call them yet. Should we wait for Alice to sort of give us the nod on that? But I don't know if you remember, but you'd had some bleeding. So when
Not
you were
really, but you told me.
There was a sudden like, when you had a contraction, some blood came out.
Right.
It wasn't a big amount, it was a small amount, and it just came out into the water. It disappeared immediately. But myself and your partner had clocked that had happened. So I said, okay. So he said, oh my God, there's blood. And I said, okay, do you know what we're going to do is, I'm not medically trained, so I can't make a medical call on that. I don't know.
No, not your thing.
Inside you, right? So I said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to stay calm with Alice. We're going to keep this room really calm. Yeah. And we're going to watch her. And I remember saying to you, Alice, but obviously you weren't really with us.
I don't remember any of this. It sounds great.
You've got a little bit of bleeding. You just had a little bit of bleeding with this contraction. Do you feel okay? And you were like, yeah, I feel fine. I'm fine. And in between your contractions, you were fine.
Yeah.
And then there was another contraction and another little bit of blood. It's hard to guess how much there was. I mean, it could have been an egg cup, could have been a teaspoon. I don't know. There's a gush of red blood. So your mum came into the room and saw that there was blood and said, should I call the midwives?
Freaked out. Yeah.
That point, you couldn't communicate. I looked at your partner and he's thinking, oh my God.
Oh.
He's probably thinking, is this going back to the birth we had the first time?
Oh no, everyone's really triggered. Yeah.
Yeah. Your mum is now really worried because she just walked into the room, there's blood in the pool, a tiny bit, but she could see the blood. And I said to her, okay, you can call the midwives and let her know that Alice is in labour. Because I wasn't making
what I wanted.
For you. Yeah. We'd spoken about these things and what to do. I said, so you can call the midwives, let them know she's in labour, that there has been some bleeding, but it's not a lot. Alice is fine and well. The baby's moving and everything seems to be okay. Yeah. But we will contact them again if we need them, but we just want to give them the heads up.
Yeah.
This is happening.
Don't know why,
but they freaked your mum out. Obviously, as soon as they had blood, they've lost their shit. Your mum was then very upset.
Yeah, bless.
And she said to me, Natalie, I just want her to be okay. I'm so worried about my mum. I was like, no, I'm a mum and I get it. You know, my daughter is not a similar age to you and I get it. Like,
yeah.
It's hard. And then your mum got really upset and said, they've said they're not going to come. And I said, it's fine, because that's not what Alice wants.
You know, I was fine with that.
Had there been anyone watching this back, don't get me wrong, had I seen that there was a reason for medical intervention at that point, we would have had a discussion, if you could, or with your partner, and we would have jumped into action. Obviously, there's nothing I can do to help you. That's a clinical role, so we would have asked, obviously, somebody to come in. And
but you weren't worried.
No, I wasn't worried.
I wasn't worried.
You weren't worried, no. And that's important here. because the person that's having the baby makes the call, right?
Yeah, and you knew very much what I wanted. We've gone over and over and over it.
Yeah. And I remember saying to your mum, I remember hugging your mum outside on the stairway.
Oh, bless you.
It's absolutely fine. If there is an emergency, we'll act with the emergency. We'll call an ambulance. You know, there will be an ambulance coming out. Don't worry,
of course,
if we need it. But no, you were fine, and there was no more blood again. So it was fine.
Weirder. That's the thing. I think in a different environment in a hospital, that would have been a freak out thing, probably a cesarean. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's not time given to assess. And I so appreciate you and your calmness and how you were always watching everything. Like I didn't realize how much you'd just be assessing every little thing. And it was the right call. Yeah, literally, it's amazing. And I wasn't able to see all of it because I was in the thing, but my mum and Lucas were like, wow, Nat was really doing this. And I was like, so cool. I wish we'd filmed everything, but no, it's amazing. And I just felt completely safe. I completely trusted your judgment. And Lucas and my mum did too. It's just obviously my mum's gonna freak out because it's my mum. She's like, oh, it's my, and she doesn't like seeing me in pain. But so that was really good. I remember when you were like, they're not coming, I felt really relieved, even though I was in the thing. I was like, good, because I just can't be bothered. I didn't want any people. I remember you saying, my friend was here, can she come up and film, take pictures? No, I didn't need any more energies in the room other than you and Lucas. That was fine. My mum was in and out. But we stayed in the pool, and then I felt something I'd never felt before because I'd had an epidural. The baby coming down. It was really amazing because I was getting to the point where I was like, I'm going to be here forever in this pain. Nothing's happened. Oh, and I felt with the contraction, the pressure of him pushing down, which was really amazing. I was like, my body's working. It really gave me a new boost, a new lease of, because I so expected it to be like the first, but this was, I don't know, 8 hours in, 9 hours. And I was like, wow, and I was like, my body is doing the thing. Because Itzy never descended naturally because she was back to back. She could have in on the other circumstances, but that trust came back. It gave me that, I'm a woman and I can do this again,
My body does what it needs to do,
Right.
You remember saying, you said it a few times to myself and your partner, I can feel myself opening.
Yes, so I do now you've said that.
Opening,
it was like contraction and it was like, oh my God, he's coming down. It was really cool. I don't know how long I was like that for. You probably do.
Oh, it's a blur. Honestly,
it's a blur. No, we're all in the blur.
An hour maybe?
An hour?
Yeah.
Because then I was like kneeling and I put my fingers inside and I felt his head. I can't tell you how amazing that felt because we just done it on our own. It's like, we're doing it. And and I was like, okay, he's made it down. Like, I'm not, because I felt so broken after the first one and just so like shit as a woman. And it just does that. I don't know why. And I was like, oh my God, we're doing it. And then the pressure and the reflex started happening. And he started pushing on his own. I was never really pushing until later. Even when I was screaming and making the noises like I was pushing, it was more controlling the speed at which he was moving down.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of amazing. You don't have to do the things in the
do it.
Right, the body just does the thing. And this birth taught me that. My God, what a gift. And it's so amazing my mum got to see this too, because she had terrible births and she got to see we can do it. Wow, all the emotions, the gifts that keep on giving, hey?
Yeah.
And then from there, his head was coming out and then his head was out. You can tell this bit if you want, because there were things that you noticed with the head bit that, is so amazing.
I want to ask you a question if we just pause there. So when you felt your body opening and him coming down, I don't know if you remember me saying to you, get some deep breaths in and get that oxygen into your placenta for your baby. Give him everything he needs right now to help him out. Kind of tune in. I don't know if you remember me saying these things.
Now I do.
Tune in. Try and get inside and communicate with your baby. So you do remember that. But do you remember how it felt? Because obviously you go into a zone, but do you remember how it felt thinking, oh my God, my baby's coming out now? Did you panic at all?
No, it was the biggest relief. It was like, it was joy. Obviously, I was still like, okay, we've got things to do, but it gets easier at that stage. Pain-wise, my mind was back in my body. Is that an adrenaline thing? It's like I snapped back in the room a little bit more. Because
Yeah.
before it was just like, I was floating around, then it was like, boom.
Yeah.
Okay. He's coming now. And it was like a different set of, it was animal. I was like, here.
Definitely very animalistic. That's definitely intentional because
the roaring is like,
yeah. But that whole being completely away of the fairies, you know, for want of a better phrase, but completely gone into another zone. I mean, I remember you looking around, and it looks like you're looking at us, but you're not. You're just
no, I wasn't looking at anything.
And then you close your eyes and then look around again, but you weren't there. And that's very evident. But you you suddenly came. You were like, oh my god, his head, and you went back in the room. Game on. It's very animalistic. That is your innate knowing, your deep knowing that I need to check quickly around this room. Am I safe? Is it okay now to birth this baby? Is there any immediate threat?
Yeah.
That's why you want to come back, and that's the hormones that do that, and it gets you ready to do that final minute. It might take, or it could be a few minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. But that final stretch, you come back and you're like, right, I'm going to do it. And it is at that point that you can really communicate with people. You can
probably shouting at people
what you want. And no, you won't. It was absolutely
good.
Chill. Like, is this what I'm having a baby? I remember you saying the head is out, and you were just like, yeah, the head's out. Like,
it was amazing. I was like,
it's funny. Yeah.
Because it's such a long trip, and then it's like, but it's amazing. And that medicated versus unmedicated is just,
well, medicated, sadly, you lose that.
Yeah.
You obviously still do go, and you still kind of leave your body, but it's really difficult to have that to be able to go inside yourself, tuning to what you need to do right now, and tuning to your baby. Is baby okay?
Feel anything.
You feel okay? Are we connected still? And when you've got the drugs in, it's really hard, especially with an epidural. It just blocks it off, unfortunately.
Oh, I hated it. Yeah. So this was it was so redemptive and so amazing.
Yeah. So his head was born.
His head was born, and I was touching his head like, oh my god, he has a head. And this is when my mum started filming. So my mum, I didn't really notice, but my mum's got this amazing film of the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Did I send it to you?
I haven't. I've got my own that I sent you. That was on my phone.
It's so cool. Yeah. And then I didn't realize time, but obviously his head had been out for a little while, and you suggested, maybe we should put your leg up and try and help.
Yeah.
Everything you were saying, I was just doing the thing.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. You're able at that point to have a bit more of a conversation. You can give yes, no answers. You can very much communicate really well. His head had been born.
Yeah.
We're all smiling. We're all really happy that the head's now been born. So I'm like, right, okay, so most probably on the next contraction, his shoulders will be born, and he'll just pop out into the water.
Wow.
And the second contraction came, and he didn't. So I'm like, right, okay, so Alice has got this. Alice is doing what she needs to be doing right now, and it's not my place to intervene and start pulling babies out or shouting instructions or anything. Okay. So the room was calm, and it was very quiet. I've got goosebumps on my arm thinking about it. It was so beautiful. And the third contraction came, and his shoulders didn't come out. So I said, Alice, you need to get one leg up right now. Like, you need to switch his position, because you were on kind of like hands and knees, weren't you? Kind of at this point.
Yes, hands and knees. Yeah.
And you got one leg up, and there was no contraction. I fully just trusted that everything that was happening was meant to be happening the way it should be. It's not my call to say if it is or not, but you weren't given any signs of any issues. You were calm. Everything was fine. When I realised then actually his shoulders hadn't been born, I said, right, Alice, I kind of went a little bit Sergeant Majorist. I was like, Alice, I need you to get out of the pool right now.
But it didn't sound like that, and I was really chill.
You need to get out. And I remember this image of this magnificent goddess covered in these beautiful. I was obsessed with your tattoos. It was just wonderful. It's like this work of art, giving birth to a baby. And you stood up. I've still got good goosebumps because it's wonderful. You stood up looking like this divine being with
Thank
their
you.
baby's head between your legs.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, where do I go? Like, really in the game now. Where do I go? And I was like, get on the
Wow.
bed. And I just said to you, get on the bed. And as you knelt down on the bed, you had a huge contraction.
Mm-hmm.
And out came your baby. It was a slimy little
like
blood and
blood everywhere. It was bloody wonderful. It was so cool. I mean, it's still blood all over my carpet. We can't get it out. It's amazing. It looks like a murder scene. But oh my God. And we've got the best pictures ever of just the shock, isn't it? It's that's the when the world pauses, when you're like, wait, I've done it. And that moment is so amazing, isn't it? And my mum was there and Lucas was there and you were there and we were like, oh my God, it's so amazing.
Honestly, I cry at birth. Oh. There's just something about birth, because I've gotten to know you through the pregnancy.
Yeah.
We have this really nice, lovely connection, this lovely relationship. And I know your mum and I've met your dad and your brother. And it's just so lovely. And to be there and to be part of it is so special. It really, really is so special. Because I knew how important this birth was to you. Like, we've spoken about the first birth many times. And it was upsetting and it was traumatic, and it's not nice to hear those stories. So knowing that you didn't want any of that and that you had literally just had everything you'd hoped for. I remember saying to you, oh my God, Alice, you had it, you had what you wanted.
There aren't words, really. It's so amazing. And I was just like crying with you.
Doing this. You won't see it. I don't know if you've seen it in the video I took, but Lucas is crying and Lucas is like, oh my God, there's a baby. Like, he just can't believe it.
I need to send you the video so we can compare.
Oh, amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
And your mum is holding the phone. Like, I've got my phone here. So your mum's like this, filming you, arms stretched out for the whole time.
Yeah.
Like sobbing into her hand, which felt like an eternity. And I remember at that moment looking at her thinking, oh my God, this has done so much for you as well.
Right?
She was fearful. And what has this done now? This has told you that this is not what. Firstly, showing you how amazing your daughter is at doing something so incredibly hard, and that she just smashed through this. But that women, we are so capable.
Yes,
we can. Yeah.
We were born to do this. I know, and it made it true. Yeah, and I wish it for every woman to not be scared or coerced or being told things by family members or put off by their husband or whatever, because like that, there's nothing will ever come close in my life to doing that thing. Like, still, I still haven't had time properly to process it now because we've got 2 babies. But watching the video, and every time I come in this room and I see the blood on the floor, I'm like, oh damn, I'm really bad. So cool. Yeah, and he was so beautiful. But then, there's the birthing the placenta bit, which joyful. That was, but we'd done the thing. But then, of course, the contractions continue. You have to birth the placenta, but you helped me with that. I lay down, I had a bit of a break, waited till the cord had gone white. We cut it. Lucas took the baby. I had a little lie down because I was like, right, we've got to give birth to this placenta. And then you took me to the bathroom. And it was this other amazing moment, wasn't it? I'm naked. The placenta comes out, the blood's everywhere, and my brother walks in and he's like, whoa, and I'm like, oh my God. So my brother was witness to that too, and it was just, I'm just there naked, like so primal, holding like all this stuff, and the placenta's huge and amazing, and it's like, so wow, good. Like everything, the baby's perfect, everything's so perfect, and to do that just with your family and your chosen people. No one poking the baby. Everything's calm afterwards. Everything's just amazing. It's just
how it should be.
Wow. Yeah. And you made that possible. Really, you made that possible because you gave me the strength. You being there, even though I was in I felt cared for. I knew that nothing would go wrong. I just felt so held. So thank you. Really, it's such a beautiful, amazing. I know, it's just.
I'm just so honored.
Oh my God!
I really am. Oh. Can I ask you? God, you keep making me cry today, Alice. Can I take you back to the placenta? I want to ask you some questions.
Yeah. Yes.
Firstly, what was your expectation for birthing the placenta this time around?
Well, because the first time they just pulled it out of me without consent, literally yanked it out of me. I had no idea what. I assumed it would be painless and that it would just come out while I was lying with the baby lying on my chest. The contractions for that hurt more nearly than I think the birth. It was really painful. So I was like, okay, because it's almost like, oh, I've done it. Oh, and then you have to do another thing.
Yeah.
God, why would you do this to me? I've just given, but let me chill with my son. But no. Okay, so I don't know. I just thought it would be like the one I've seen women pull them out of themselves while holding the baby, looking really fierce, but like controlled. But no, mine, I was like, I don't want any more I was just crying. I don't want any more. But after a little lie down, and also the pressure of pushing out a baby, it hurt to even sit in a position again where I thought I could birth the placenta. So, but after a little time, we built up the courage. And then I sat on the toilet and it didn't hurt the same. So I was like, okay, we can do this. So I just started like guiding out by the, we checked to see if it was still attached and it wasn't because I wasn't having pain. And I was just pulling a little bit at the cord that was still attached, and then it just started moving on its own. And I was like, oh, thank God. We just needed the gravity. And you knew that, and I knew that I just couldn't do it immediately. I didn't.
I think you needed the space as well.
I needed something, yeah.
Yeah. So when you were laying down on the floor, I remember, I think it's your mum walked in and she was like, what is she doing laying on the floor in the corner of the room?
I don't know what I'm doing.
That was where you felt called to. Something
I just had to lie down.
Get away from the baby and get away from because you'd cut the cord at this point, so it's quite a while, wasn't it? Maybe an hour or 2 hours. You left the baby there with daddy, and you've taken yourself right over into the corner of the room.
Yeah.
And I was like,
just needed to do that.
So I put towels on you and tried to keep you warm because you were just laying there.
I was just lying there bleeding and alone and cold.
Yeah. I remember your mum either walked in or she was there and asked, what's happening? I said, I think she's sleeping. Because you just
I was so tired. So tired. Yeah.
But I just want to mention something because I asked you if you can remember peeing and you couldn't remember peeing for a while.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
If your bladder's full, it can be difficult to birth the placenta. So the wonderful Jeanette Faulkner, who you've met, who does the homeopathy, I went into the room and I sent her a message and I said, lovely Alice has just had her baby. Can you just help me out 1 second? I've got my homeopathic kit with me. Alice is happy to have one of the remedies.
Yeah.
She hasn't peed. The placenta hasn't come out. Is there anything that potentially help?
That's what
she said. There absolutely is. So we gave you you had the remedy. I can't remember which one it was now off the top of my head. If I do, I'll note it actually when I save the video. But you had that, and then you kind of woke up a bit, and I said, Alice, do you want to just try going into the toilet? Because if you're in the toilet, you're on your own, and you don't have us as an audience.
Yeah,
you're still vulnerable. You're still naked. You're bleeding, and you want this pain and this whole process to be over and done with. So you can just get in bed with the baby. So I was like, you want to just get in the toilet? And then you got on the toilet, and I said, have you peed? And he said, yeah, I peed. Was that exactly a homeopathic remedy? I don't know, or was it just coincidence? And I left you in there, and then you said, as if you just.
It was quite quick.
The prize. You're like, I've done it. I've got the placenta. I've finished. On the floor, stunning.
It was wonderful, isn't it? It was just on a towel on the floor, like blood everywhere.
Blood on your hands, all of your legs.
Yeah, it was. I loved it. It just felt so real. I love being covered in blood.
Oh, it was beautiful. I remember your mum saying, I came outside and said, oh, she's birthed the placenta. That's it now. That's it. Everything, the birth is finished. How bloody amazing is this? And your mum said to your brother, I know I said this to you the day, she said, you go in and see her because it's you she'll want to see. And I thought,
oh, it was so nice to see him.
I love that so much. How wonderful, close your relationship is that he was the one. Your mum knew that he would bring comfort to you right now. It was just, we were just all amazed at the centre because it was just so big and so healthy. And considering that you'd had the HG for quite a while, and it is a worry that I've had all this sickness. I've not
Yeah,
been able to
yeah.
eat all the nourishment that my babies need. How healthy they're going to be, and then you see that
It
placenta
was
and
a
you think,
worry.
wow.
Yeah, because my daughter's placenta was very small. So I was worried about this one, but wow, it was beautiful. And then, yeah.
I remember taking pieces off it later on
Yeah,
to freeze to make
yeah. It's in my freezer.
And I remember saying to you, I've taken quite a lot off. I put quite a lot in these ice trays because there's just tons of placenta.
But
So to go out.
he's so wonderful. It all makes sense because he's so healthy and just perfect and quiet, just so chill.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm so in love with him. Oh God, the
Oh,
love.
no.
Yeah.
Well, I saw the other day, I spoke to my daughter and said to her, oh my God, if you saw this baby, like, you'd want another one.
Oh, we're all, I know, I bet she does. Oh,
He's
I
absolutely
know.
gorgeous.
I just can't imagine not having a newborn now. I'm like, when he's not, I need one. Like, but I can't go through the HG again. Like,
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I get that. So, quite a contrast between the two births, right?
Amazing.
How have you found the last, so what's he, just over 3 weeks now, 21 days?
Yeah, he's like 21 days.
Something like, yeah.
Yeah.
How have you been feeling about the whole experience in comparison to the first time around?
Absolute dream. It's just been amazing to even, it's wonderful going into this part without regret, without anger, without shame or guilt or those things or carrying anything in my body, just like pure joy and bliss and pride about that and wonderful memories of just the people that I want to be there, being there and how it all unfolded and the sheer strength of women and how amazing we are that we can withstand that and we bring life. It's mind-blowing, and I had none of that the first time, none of that, so it's just been, I mean, it's hard because I've got 2 babies, but it's made it okay, and, my God, I'm so sad that this type of birth, which is just a birth, is being villainized and destroyed on social media like only hippies and really irresponsible people do it. When it's just the most natural, amazing thing ever. It's just birth without shitloads of intervention away from your house, away from your loved ones. That's wrong to me. Unless you want it or choose it, that's fine, or need it, that's different. But we shouldn't not do this because we're scared. We should face those fears. We can, and everyone can, and like my mom was like, I could never do that. I'm like, you never, put the time into, and you didn't have the people around you to build you up to think that you could do it. And your mom had terrible births. It's just like a lineage of shit births. So I was like, it ends here. I want my daughter to see these videos and be like, I can.
Yeah.
And so that's it. What a gift. And to come on here and speak about it on live, if anyone can hear this and be like, well, maybe I can't. And if one person can have a birth of their dreams from us chatting like this, isn't that worth it? Because it's just the best thing ever. And that's what you get to facilitate. It's so amazing.
Oh, it's just, you have no idea how it feels to do the work I do sometimes. It's just unbelievable.
It is the best job in the world. And you're amazing and I adore you. And now you're family and you're coming to Italy with us. It's you meet your people.
So I said to everybody, she said, well, we're in Italy, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Thank you so much for sharing your stories. They are just, they're both wonderful examples of birth for different reasons. One shows how it can be that end of the scale. One shows how it can be at that end of the scale. And it is achievable. The birth you've had with your boy is achievable. And you've just said, like, it's amazing what a gift you've given to your daughter and your family, but also your son. That the implications for his health, long term, his whole health long term is potentially improved because of the kind of birth he's had.
I've seen it. We can see it in him
already.
It's night and day.
Absolutely. And also, he will carry that through life. He might meet a partner one day, a woman, and say, I was born at home and there was no midwife and it was just me and my mum and my dad, and
so cool.
that message. Oh, it's just wonderful. And your partner too. I'm sure he might talk to people one day and someone might say, oh, my missus is pregnant. And he might go, oh, wow, well, we had a baby at home, and Alice just did it. And it was actually cool. And there was no danger and it was fine.
Yeah.
It's
And
just...
he's seen me in a different light too now. It's been really amazing for our relationship because he's like, he's not hugely emotional, but he's like, you're amazing. What you did was like,
I love that.
And I'm like, that's all I've ever wanted to hear from you, mate. So wonderful. So our partners get to see what we are capable of. Like, we are not weak. We're not a weak race. We're amazing. So the way he looks at me now is like, oh, like I'm a gladiator or something, it's really, so it's shifted everything. My dad as well. He was like, you've met him. You need to go to the hospital. Now he's like, wow. And he's seen Attilio and he's like, just thinks it's affected everyone in such an incredible way. And all we have to do is just be brave and do it.
I remember him saying a couple of months ago, like,
yeah,
women do this then. I just have babies at home. And I was like, yeah, he goes, poor. That's so funny. Because now you've proved why they do it.
Yeah. And now he's seen it. He's seen it. Well, it heals on so many levels. I think it's a really like generational thing. So it's healing backwards and forwards. And I hope my children, will do the same. And I'll support them and I'll be there as the mum filming. And hopefully you can be there for their births.
Oh God, that'd be amazing.
Yes.
Oh, it's me being out there being a doula in my 60s. Yeah.
Badass. No. Well, that'll be my gift for their births. I'm like, I'm buying you Nat. Yes. So good.
I'll put that money away.
It's so exciting. But now, of course, I want to do what you do because I'm like, why? It's the best job in the world. Like, oh my God. I mean, it's hard, probably. It's a lot, but to see life come and to support women in that way and families in that way, like, it's incredible.
Yeah. People ask me, like, oh, when you meet people, say, what's your job? What do you do for a living? And I'm like, well, it's not really a job. I do the thing where I stand in the room. Sometimes I just sit on the sofa and I watch babies be born. It is just amazing. I see souls arrive,
Literally. Yeah.
What? It's unbelievable. This work isn't for everyone. I say it all the time. This work isn't for everyone. It's a calling. And you won't be surprised to know, much like you, so many women say to me afterwards, do what you do. Because you get to see this all the time.
Yeah, like, why would you not want to see that all the time? Exactly. Yes. And the more people see it and are affected by it and do this and do it brilliantly like you, we can change. I'd like to see more change in the birth
industry. Change the world one birth at a time. Not me, I'm not changing the world one birth at a time, but
you've changed my world.
Doing it together. Oh, bless you. Thank you.
You have. But it's true.
So one last question. If someone was to say to you, I've not had a baby before, so I don't have any trauma to base anything on.
Oh.
What would your advice be to me as someone going into a labour, not knowing what to expect? Should I birth in the hospital? Should I birth at home? What's your advice? If you don't have to give advice, but
no, I'd say number one, get a doula. It's like the most important thing for this process, like to have a woman who really like loves you and really cares and really listens and wants it for you and just is so brilliant, that because not all of us have that in family that can give us that, and sometimes it's a bit overwhelming on your own, and it's absolutely amazing. And obviously I'd say home. Do not go near a hospital if you want to have a happy, healthy birth and baby. If you care about yourself and your baby, don't do that. I've seen too many things. You can do it. You can do it. You were born to do this. You just need to believe in yourself and just have people there that you really love, and it will be okay.